Today, it's all about the community. You've heard us say it many times before. Your community's college is Montgomery College. Coming up next on Campus Conversations, we'll talk about how Montgomery College programs, employees, and students are serving your communities.
Hi, I'm Jason Rivera, and this is Campus Conversations. Today we are looking at ways Montgomery College connects with and provides support to our community. With me is Nancy Newton, who is the director of the Montgomery College Citizenship Program. Nancy, tell me, what is the Citizenship Program?
The Citizenship Program is a program that helps to prepare students, legal permanent residents, people with a green card, for naturalization in the USA. And the way that we do this is we offer classes at Rockville campus and Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, at two different levels, level 1 and level 2. In our level 1 class, we're going to focus more on the English skills that students need in the interview, and then also on the history and government that they need to pass the naturalization interview and the exam. At our level 2, the students usually have a higher level of English, and we're focusing more on an in-depth look into the history and government of the United States. Both of the levels, we encourage our students to integrate into the community because we want them to look beyond just becoming a citizen. Anybody can prepare anybody to pass a test and an interview. We want to have them look at what it means to become a productive citizen when they do naturalize. And one of the ways we do this is we have them go out into the community to volunteer, to get involved in their children's schools, join the PTA, to go to the historical landmarks downtown, and to use their English skills and interact with, the receiving community, so the native-born Americans. And we hope to, foster a relationship between the two, between the immigrant and the non-immigrant community.
Sounds terrific. So how does a student know if they're eligible for this type of a program?
They would come to one of our registrations and information sessions. They have to have had a green card for 3 years if they're married to a United States citizen, or 5 years if they are not married to a US citizen. And those dates are very important. So 3 years if you're married to a US citizen with a green card, and 5 years if you are not married to a United States citizen with your green card.
And how much would something like this cost?
Our classes are free. However, the application process is $680. That includes biometrics, which are fingerprints and picture, a complete background check, and the interview and the exam, and the certificate of naturalization. It's not cheap, so a lot of our students, wait, and we tell them not to apply until they're ready, because you get 2 chances with 1 application. But we don't want them, to go and to fail the interview and the exam because their English skills aren't strong enough or their history and government skills aren't strong enough. We want them to go and be successful the first time, if not the first, then the second time, so they don't have to pay again and start the whole process again. Because the complete process from application to interview takes between 4 and 6 months.
Quite a bit of time. So let me just make sure I understand. The $680 is not something that Montgomery College is charging.
Correct.
That's something that's a fee that they pay to the
USCIS.
USCIS.
Yeah. We at Montgomery College in our program, we prepare people for the interview and the exam. The N400 is the application that you have to fill out for US naturalization. We do not do anything with that because we're not lawyers, we're not legal Board of Immigration accredited representatives, which is a technical term the USCIS have. But so the actual application is $680, but the classes to prepare them that we offer are free.
So how is it that we're able to offer free tuition for classes like this?
We're very lucky that we applied for twice and received a competitive grant from Homeland Security, and we were the only the last round of grants, we were the only institution on the East Coast that got it for citizenship instruction. So we're very proud of that. And the new grant application has just come out, so we're hoping the deadline is May 22nd, in the process of applying again, and fingers crossed we'll be able to help more students become citizens.
So you must be a busy bee right now, huh?
Rather busy.
So I think you're being a bit modest, aren't you? This is an award-winning program, isn't it?
Well, it is, yes.
Tell us about that.
2 years ago now, I believe, 2 years ago, I came into work one morning and opened up my emails, and you know, the slew of emails that we all get every morning, and there was one from the White House.
Yeah.
Interesting, probably just another press release. Well, it was actually an award that they were giving to 5 different organizations throughout the country, and it was for President Obama's Champions of Change for Immigrant Integration. So they had heard, we don't know how, about our work with having our students become involved in the community, not just, you know, preparing them for the interview and the test, but integrated into community. And we went to the White House, there was a little ceremony, and it was, you know, now I have a picture of the president in my office with a letter.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's our students and my instructors that give us that recognition, you know, because without them, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. So tell me, these classes, when are they offered? How do students find out about them? Those types of things.
Yeah, we have flyers all throughout the county. We also we're on the web. We are, you know, in the tab, the Montgomery College tab, and our classes are offered Monday and Wednesday evenings, 6:30 to 9:30. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, 6:30 to 9:30, and then Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So we try and have classes when the students are available, because they're all adults, they're working. We want to make sure that they're able to come to class, you know, so that's when we offer them, when they're available.
And is there a website for people to be able to go and look up information if they needed it?
There is. It's a very long website, and the name escapes me at the moment. Okay. But it's, if you type in Citizenship, Montgomery College, we pop right up. Okay. You can type into Google or any of those, or even in Montgomery College itself.
Okay, excellent. Is there anything you want to leave us with? We've got about 20 seconds left. Anything else you want to let people know about related to the program?
For anybody who is very interested in, you know, becoming a citizen of the United States, has a green card, you know, needs extra help maybe with the English or the history and government, we can certainly help them. My professors and the volunteers in the program, my aide, they're all fantastic, and we are, you know, we're a great little program doing great things down in Wheaton. If you need me, give me a call, send me an email, and we'll help you out.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us today to share this award-winning program with us.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Our producer, Marcus Rosano, recently went to the Tacoma Park Silver Spring campus to take a look at another special Montgomery College program that not only benefits the community, but benefits the volunteers too.
I'm with Jessica Wyatt, who is the coordinator for a partnership program called the Montgomery College, Montgomery County Public Schools Collaborative. Jessica, we know that MC and MCPS partner in a lot of different ways, but this particular partnership actually combines service learning, student service learning, and ESOL students from Montgomery County Public Schools. So how does this collaboration kind of come together and meld the two ideas of service learning and ESOL?
Well, it kind of goes back to when the program started 6 years ago at Blair High School. Statistics were showing that students who were enrolled in ESOL were not getting their graduation done because of one simple thing: they weren't getting their required 75 service learning hours. So the program started in hopes to bridge the gap to help those students achieve their student service learning hours and understand what the heck is service learning, why do I need to do this, and why is this beneficial to me outside of just graduating.
And service learning hours for an MCPS student is important because
you got to graduate.
Right. And how many hours does a particular MCPS student have to do to get your diploma?
75.
Okay. So talk a little bit about the problems or maybe the challenges that the ESOL students were seeing in service learning. And we were chatting before the segment here that a lot of the stuff, a lot of the activities that you guys are doing, they've never even really broached. They haven't seen it, so it was sort of a new thing to a lot of these students.
A lot of these students are coming from countries where service and community service that's part of the culture, where now you're being told you have to justify what you're doing, you have to put a number on it, you have to write a paper about why you're doing it, didn't make sense to a lot of the students coming from all these different cultures. And so what we're doing is trying to help these students really achieve and understand what's going on. So we're initiating programming out in the community to get them to understand where they live in Montgomery County. We're also doing programs within the classroom during lunchtime or after school that help students achieve those hours without having to go outside the school grounds. Because sometimes families are a little bit nervous about letting their kids run off and do things for other people without understanding why.
What are some of the challenges that you are facing? I know it's a new program, and you're the coordinator of this partnership. What are some of the challenges? What were some of the goals, and how has it been received by some of the students?
One of the big challenges, a lot of it's on me. There's only one person, so there's not a lot of manpower, but that's really exciting because I kind of get to bring on different players into this collaboration process. Right. At each school, there's an ESOL teacher that serves as the advisor for the students, and they're always there during club meetings and help out with activities. Sometimes we're lucky enough to get them on weekends or after school for different activities. Another challenge has been kind of getting the students out of their comfort zones, but I think we really succeeded. The more activities you offer and the more fun you have, the more into it students become.
And let's talk about, we've got about a minute and a half to go here, but let's talk about a couple of the activities themselves. And you mentioned one about the Carpe Diem and the Ethiopian students. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Carpe Diem is an arts organization that's based in Silver Spring. It's been going on forever and ever. And a cool thing they do every month is host a community sing. And that's community members come together. There's a few performers. They'll teach the audience a song. Everybody sings. It's super fun. I had students volunteer at that event, a group of Ethiopian girls. After the event, they were like, "Miss Jess, we really want to perform." And I said, "Okay, like that's great. Like you're really high in the experience. Awesome." It turned out they got it together. They picked a song. They choreographed a performance, and they wanted to wear their local garb, and they wanted to teach this group of folks how to do the Ethiopian dance. And I can't really do it, but there was a lot of shoulder shaking, and the audience is primarily older folks. So it was really fun to see these girls just so empowered in doing the dance, and also they're engaging Americans in doing the dance. And so they're sharing their culture, but they're also getting the service learning hours out of it. And afterwards, we're going to reflect on it and write a paper. So, which is part of your achieving your service learning, you got to write about it, which is a great thing to really reflect.
Fantastic. It sounds like it's not only needed to get your service learning hours, but it's a lot of fun, and it's bringing a lot of different people together, which is cool because this is what we're talking about on this episode. It's MC getting into the community, and this sounds like a great partnership, and it sounds like it's really working. But I want to thank you, Jessica. For Campus Conversations, I'm Marcus Rosano.
Thanks to Marcus for that story. It's one of the great ways that Montgomery College is connecting students with the community. With me now is Nick Sushka, a service learning coordinator, one of 3 at Montgomery College. Nick, what is service learning?
Service learning is a lot of different things. Actually, here at Montgomery College, we use service learning in student life to help students learn in and out of the classroom about themselves, how to be leaders, how to use what they're learning in the classroom to make a positive difference in the community.
So how does this connect to academics?
It connects in some ways to academics through the courses that faculty teach here. Our different service learning coordinators work with faculty to integrate service learning into the classroom. So we meet with them before a semester starts, finding out what assignments they teach in the courses, how the students are going to be learning, and then we connect them with local community partners who have projects that students could work on where they'll learn what they're applying in the classroom. So we connect it through academics explicitly, that way through the courses, but then there's all these other co-curricular programs where students who are majors in environmental science can come out and do trash cleanups with local environmental groups through leadership programs. And they're connecting what they're learning in courses too. The assignment isn't just something that's getting graded though.
That's a good segue into the next question. So I know that in education, assessment's a big thing. So how do we assess service learning?
Well, there's a couple of different assessments in service learning that go beyond the student too. The service part comes from making partnerships in the community and helping to create a positive change, right? So we have to be able to assess our impact in the community and we have to be able to assess the impact on student learning. In courses, we use traditional assessments. Students take tests, they write papers, they turn those assignments in, and faculty assess for learning outcomes. It's really no different in the classroom when you're tying it directly into a learning outcome that's in the course. With students outside of classrooms, when you're looking at leadership development, we might assess for things like conflict resolution skills or public speaking or how to set goals and achieve them. So we tie it specifically into learning outcomes there too, but the assessments look a little different. We might use e-portfolios or interviews, reflections, things like that.
This sounds like a great partnership building program as well. So what are some of the partnerships that we might have built as a result of some of our service learning initiatives?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. The partnerships are really key to service learning. Without our nonprofit partners, we couldn't do service in the community in a way that had any long-standing impact. One great partnership we have is with the Housing Opportunities Commission. We have some courses on the Germantown campus, for instance, English, sociology, psychology, where students are learning things like childhood development, and then they're working with the Housing Opportunities Commission in their family centers. These are located in a lot of their properties, and students go after school and do tutoring. So you can imagine a student who's learning about childhood development in a psychology course and then goes straight from the classroom to an after-school center and helps children learn is really able to apply what they're learning in the classroom in a meaningful way.
That is phenomenal. How do students find out about opportunities like that?
With the service learning that happens outside the classroom, we have students who come through student life in lots of different ways. They're attracted to our programs by hearing about them from other students, things like that. With the academic coursework, it's a little trickier, but the best way for students to learn about the different courses when they're registering for classes is to go to the service learning website and see which courses are being offered in that term.
Our students also participate in pretty large projects as well, right, in the service learning process?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that service learning is structured, whether it's in a course or outside in a program. A lot of students do it one-on-one. They have a site that they themselves go to individually. They do 15 or 20 hours, and that's their assignment in the course. There are small groups that are also in courses, but then they might be part of a leadership development program too, where the group of students is working on one project, trying to solve a problem together. For instance, next fall, we'll have an architecture course that's participating in a Smarter Growth Challenge. All across the state of Maryland, colleges will be trying to solve some of our biggest sustainability issues in the state. So they'll be working as a team, hopefully with some other courses in practices like engineering, to try to pitch a problem or a solution to a problem as part of this statewide contest. So it can take a lot of different forms. It just, for us, the service has to be meaningful, tied with people in the community who know the issues best, and then it's got to be tied to some specific learning outcomes so that we know students are learning in a meaningful way too.
So do students have an opportunity to collaborate across institutions on service learning projects?
And they do. There are a number of four-year institutions that use service learning this way. Montgomery College right now, most of our service learning is about a semester long. Some of it's a year long, but there are programs that look that way too.
Any other types of alternative opportunities for service learning that students might be able to engage in?
Yeah, I mean, one that I would really hate not to mention today is one of President Obama's initiatives, the Interfaith and Community Service Campus Challenge. This is an opportunity for students actually to take a step back from their service and engage in meaningful dialogue with people from different faith backgrounds so that we can really get at what the reason is for why we serve and hopefully break down some of the barriers between different communities who are all trying to work towards improving our community together. We've been a part of that initiative for 2 years now, and we've hosted different events on campus that really try to get at that meaning of why we serve.
So how do students learn about some of those opportunities? Because those are a little different, right? The interfaith opportunities are a little different. So how do they learn about those?
The on-campus events are just promoted through the college. We try to host them at times that are convenient for students to come. Classes will bring entire students to the programs as well. But these opportunities happen all throughout the year. We have a few newsletters that we try to send out to students too. I know my newsletter has about 400 students on it. So we have a lot of students who are really interested in serving, but of course we're always happy to get the word out more.
And I guess the great part here is that there's a connection, right? So that you're helping students see the connections between the work that they're doing, not only in the classroom, but in the community, and how that might impact them personally and professionally.
Yeah, absolutely. I just sent a message out to the faculty that I work with, giving them a handout talking about how to put service learning work on your resume. And it was just describing why you don't even have to put it under a heading that says volunteering. If you're doing a project for a nonprofit and you're carrying the heavy load for that work, that's work experience. So this is important to students individually. It helps them learn better in the classroom, and then professionally it can be huge as well.
It sounds pretty profound, and it sounds like another way that Montgomery College is actually honoring its mission.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to think that service learning will only become an ever more important part of what a student experience looks like here.
Well, let me thank you for taking the time to join us today and to share the service learning experiences. I think it's really something that's going to be meaningful to the college-wide community as we encourage other people to get involved in these service learning initiatives.
Oh, thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Reporter Meryl Gavronsky is on campus where she got a first-hand look at some of your student volunteers in action. Meryl?
Hi Jason, I'm here on the Rockville campus where a group of Montgomery College students just finished preparing Smart Sacks for local elementary students.
Smart Sacks is a way of giving back to the community.
The food that we receive comes from Manna Food. We have a volunteer who goes there and picks up the food, brings it to us, and then several times every 2 weeks they may go back and get some more food, and we replenish the cabinets.
We bag a bunch of food. After we do that, we transport the food to elementary school.
And this meal that we provide them helps them over the weekend. We have a volunteer who takes it to their school, and we never get to see them. We as the volunteers, we never get to meet these children, but we're conscious of the fact that we are making a difference.
It's nothing for me. I love making a difference in someone else's life, a positive, meaningful difference. That's my purpose.
So when I think of these children, they may not have names, they don't have faces, in my mind, but I think, that child could have been me, that child could have been my friend. And, I'm hoping that they do kind of think about, hey, who packs my food? I do kind of hope that they realize that we do this because we do care.
Passing them on the street, you wouldn't realize that they don't get all the food that they need, so I'm glad I can help, I guess, their quality of life a little bit.
There have been shortages of food, and it's saddening because I know that a lot of people do want to contribute, but they don't know how. And there is a warehouse by Shady Grove where people can just drop off their food in the Manna Food warehouse.
As we speak, a student is delivering these sacks to a local elementary school. Because this group of Montgomery College students is devoted to enriching the life of our community, a group of students will have something to eat this weekend. For Campus Conversations, I'm Meryl Gavronsky.
Like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Montgomery College TV.
An alternative spring break program here at MC is a program during spring break where a group of students go out and do community service or disaster relief or humanitarian aid. In this case, it was Habitat for Humanity at Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
An alternative break program is meant to kind of bring two things together, to provide students a type of experiential education and to enable them to get away from the place where they normally live and to have a hands-on direct service experience, but to combine it with some type of issues education.
I think it was a fantastic opportunity at first. I had never left home before, I had never caught a plane, and I loved the school, so I figured, why not try to do it here, and it was kind of the perfect opportunity. They gave me a hard hat and a hammer the first day, and I was like, what do I do? So it was my first experience, but I definitely know right now I would love to repeat it, and I definitely want to build houses in the future.
The highlight of the trip for me was actually the conversation between one of the crew chiefs there. They told us stories that were very, very touching, and he said that 15 people were killed in that block alone. And that's when I thought to myself that what I'm doing is actually for those 15 people, their families, and what the families will do after.
I had a chance to meet the family. They were the Beckhams. They were really amazing people, hardworking people, and they just lost their house completely when the tornado had struck through Tuscaloosa.
With an activity such as the Alternative Spring Break, you put all your ideas in action outside the classroom, and you start learning your true potential. So it wasn't the construction, but it was actually me learning how to bond with people.
You're together for an entire week, 24/7. You're cooking meals together, you're sleeping in a dorm together, you're on a job site for 8 hours a day, working hard, touring the area, and it just brings people together in a really unique way.
Originally we were just like a group of 16, 18 kids on a plane from different campuses, for Montgomery College, and then we became friends, we were family. And we really got to recognize some of the hardships and the tribulation other kids had gone through within the group, and just helped us even more to motivate ourselves to do the best we could for the house and for the Beckhams.
I think that there's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. And that's exactly what these people gave when they went to this Alternative Spring Break.
And I think it's just a fantastic opportunity to interact with your peers and see another part of the country or the state that you haven't necessarily seen. It was pretty extraordinary. I'm really happy to be a Raptor, and I take a bit more pride in the college because I went.
Marcus, it sounded like that was a remarkable experience for those kids.
Yeah, Matt and Trinetta sound like great kids, and this summer they're going to the Jersey Shore to help with the cleanup of what happened after the hurricane aftermath in Sandy, which is still, there's a lot of projects to be done there, and again, it's just meaningful work, it's heartfelt, and you can tell that they really enjoy what they're doing. But this Alternative Spring Break isn't just Habitat for Humanity at Montgomery College, and it's not just spring. So there's all kinds of different ways that students can get involved with things like this.
Sounds pretty remarkable for our students. What a great opportunity. Today we've been highlighting some of the great ways that our students, faculty, and staff here at Montgomery College are serving our community. Where can viewers find out how they can get involved?
Well, we have service learning coordinators at all 3 of our campuses, and all you have to do is log on to www.montgomerycollege.edu/service learning, and you can find their contact information. And if you want more information about the citizenship preparation classes, just contact Nancy Newton at the email or the phone number that's on your screen.
And as always, you can send us an email at campus.conversations@montgomerycollege.edu. From all of us here at Campus Conversations, thanks for watching.